And it's the truth. And it's a truth that the people of Israel love to repeat. The Lord loves His people. And in the difficult moments, the Lord always loves. They expected to see how He would manifest that love. And when the Lord sent out of His love a prophet or a man of God, the reaction of the people was that the Lord has visited His people. Because He loved them, He visited them. And the same was what the crowd said. The crowd who followed Jesus, seeing the things that Jesus did. The Lord has visited His people. And today, we can say, 100 years ago, the Lord visited His people. He sent a man, He prepared him, made him a bishop, and to guide the church. Recalling the memory of Pope St. John Paul II, we pick this theme up. The Lord loves His people. The Lord has visited His people. He sent a pastor, a shepherd. And what is, let's say, the outline that we can find in Pope St. John Paul II? A lot of them, but let's say we'll talk about 3 only. They always say that Jesuits always say things in 3s. Prayer, nearness to the people, and the love of justice. St. John Paul II was a man of God because he prayed, and he prayed a lot. But how can a man who had so many things to do and so much work to lead the church, how could he take so much time in prayer? He knew well that the first task of a bishop is to pray. And this isn't what the Second Vatican Council said. St. Peter said it when he made the first deacons. He said, and to us bishops, prayer and the proclamation of the word. The first task of a bishop is to pray, and he knew that, and he did it. A model bishop who prays. It's the first task. And he taught us that when a bishop does an examination of conscience in the evening, he needs to ask, how many hours did I pray today? O man of prayer. The second example, a man who was near to his people. He wasn't detached or separated from his people. In fact, he sought them out. He sought the people out. He traveled the entire world, going to find his people. He made himself near to them. And the nearness is one of the aspects of God that God has for His people. We remember that God said to the people of Israel, look, Moses said to the people, what other people has its gods as close to it as you are with me? The nearness of God with His people that He makes very, very close in Jesus. He makes it very strong in Jesus. A shepherd who is near to his people. The opposite, the person is not a shepherd. He's a manager. He's in the hierarchy, but he's not a pastor. But closeness to the people. And St. John Paul II gave us this example of this nearness. Being near to the great people and the small, those far away and those near. He made himself near. And the third example, love of justice, but complete justice. A man who wanted justice, social justice, justice for the people, a justice to drive out war, but complete justice. And for this, St. John Paul II, because of this, St. John Paul II was a man of mercy, because justice and mercy go together. You can't distinguish them one from the other. They're together. Justice is justice, mercy is mercy. But one without the other, you can't, it doesn't exist. And speaking of a man of justice and mercy, we can think of how much he did, St. John Paul II did, so that the people might understand God's mercy. Let's think about how he promoted the devotion that originated with St. Faustina. He felt that God's justice had this face of mercy, this attitude of mercy. And this is a gift that he left to us. Justice and mercy and merciful justice. Let us pray to him today that he might grant to all of us, especially to the shepherds of the church, but to all of us, the grace of prayer, the grace of drawing near, and the grace of justice in mercy and merciful justice. Our Holy Father has just concluded his homily, and the altar now being prepared.